That was my impression of Burning Man. Aside from Burning Man, there's more. Lollapalooza, Bonnaroo, The Gathering of the Juggalos. They're great. They're awesome. I really, really, really like festivals. They're pretty cool. Thousands of people coming from all across the globe to share their love for music together. People performing live. It's an infectious atmosphere. You smell body odor. Sometimes you smell shit. Most of the time you smell shit. I've been to nothing ever before because I hate people. And I'm antisocial. And on top of all that, these things make a lot of money and they bring a lot of clout, and it's cool to sort of have a festival. Well, one time there was a guy named Billy McFarland, and he wanted a piece of that music festival pie. Bit of a snake oil salesman too, I've gotta add. Billy McFarland created a festival called the Fire Festival. You've probably heard of it, but there's more. There's a little bit more to the story. The first Fire Festival was supposed to kick off this epic new event that would be around for years to come. It had Ja Rule there. We gon' clap back. We gon' clap back. He's known for that song, and that's the only song that I know from Ja Rule. He co-founded it as well and was a big name advertising it. But Ja Rule was not the real vision or mind behind Fire Festival. Billy McFarland was that guy. And on Wikipedia, he's literally described as a con artist, which is fucking awesome. The whole event was sort of created with the intent to advertise an app called Fire, which was supposed to be able to like book music talent and stuff. And that's where everything started to spiral down. And the event was very expensive. The day tickets were like $500 to $1,500 a piece. So like $3,000 to $9,000 for a whole weekend. Oh, what the fuck? Or for both weekends if they lasted that long? Oh my god. And there was a luxurious option that cost 12 grand, and it got you a luxury airfare and a luxury tent. What the fuck does that even mean? That's still a tent. Customers were promised accommodations in modern, eco-friendly geodesic domes and meals from celebrity chefs. They paid a bunch of people to advertise the event, as I'm sure you can imagine. Kendall Jenner, she advertised it, got millions and millions and millions and millions of views. Emily Ratajkowski advertised it. Absolutely beautiful woman. But unfortunately, she propagated a scam. And another layer to this is that these models and influencers didn't disclose that they made money from these posts. They didn't disclose that they were advertisements. Coming this April, Fire Festival, hashtag I'm a girl. That is illegal now, by the way. You can't even do that. For example, Kendall Jenner made 250 grand for her post. Oh, man. And then there's the marketing that Fire did on their own. Oh, it's so bad, dude. They brag about their island once being owned by Pablo Escobar. It's so cool. It's an island called Norman's Cay. It's a pretty cool looking island, I guess. And a funny little fact is the only condition that the original owners of the island would let Billy lease it for, the condition was that they weren't to mention that it was previously owned by Pablo Escobar. They did that though. And because they did that, they were kicked off the island, so they had to find a new place to do all this. They eventually settled on a little dumb island called Roker Point, which is cringe and lame comparatively speaking. Look at this luxury island. Wow, that's awesome. The event was very, 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 very rough. The attendees were in for an incredibly rough time. Here's a bit of a vlog. You see the marina for the locals to park their boats. You see them pull up to tents. You see the interior of the tents, these valuable luxury geodesic domes. Wow. These look like nice tents, but they're basically touching each other, so that's not as good. You see some people just slam together with no idea what to do, just waiting to be checked into their tents. It looks horrible. In fact, the tents were disaster relief tents that were just being advertised as high-end luxury tents for festival goers.
This is what they got. Disaster relief tents.
It's crazy, dude. Mattresses were just on the dirt.
Well, those are your mattresses.
And in this video, they talk about the mattresses just being soaking wet.
Oh my. And these were not nice tents. These were like disaster relief tents.
Yeah, and a storm had hit the night before, so the beds were soaking wet.
Here's the gourmet meals. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. In this video, we also see that the headlining band Blink-182 backed out. People started to get very curious as to what was happening. The concierge bailed and the staff were nowhere to be found.
Where are you?
Fire Festival ended. It was terrible. It was horrible. A bunch of people got scammed. It didn't work out. That resulted in a crazy fallout over the next couple years. They put out a statement addressing how ill-prepared they were. Classic ChatGPT written statement, pre-ChatGPT. They offered complete refunds or, get this, VIP tickets to the next Fire Festival, just in case you're interested, guys. It was terrible this year. Next year, it'll be way better. Then there was a $100 million class action lawsuit claiming that refunds weren't valuable enough to rectify the situation. Because it wasn't just the tickets. It was like the cost of travel, the amount of time they spent. It was terrible. It was miserable, etc. Missing luggage, missed flights. It was bad. Then there was a second lawsuit for deceptive practices. It all started to go downhill. It was like total 8 or 9 lawsuits at the end of this, when it was all said and done. And by the way, even Ja Rule said he was defrauded by Billy McFarland. Hey man, you better watch out, Billy. That motherfucker's been known to clap back. And finally, in March 2018, Billy pled guilty to wire fraud to defraud investors and a second count of wire fraud to defraud a ticket vendor. And he was sentenced to 6 years in prison. And now, Billy McFarland is back and Fire Fest 2 is coming. Dude didn't even serve his full 6-year sentence. He served 4 years, but he's turned on a camera and he is absolutely back. He's a classic rich man looking guy in New York City. This is awesome, man. What could this guy possibly be trying to convince us of? Well, first, he was inspired by a 7-month stint in solitary confinement.
It has been the absolute wildest journey to get here, and it really all started during the 7th-month stint in solitary confinement.
What the fuck? I wouldn't mention that. I mean, maybe this might be cool. This could be cool. Hold on. He claims to have also written a 50-page paper for plans on how to take the hype from Fire Festival and turn it into something new.
I wrote out this 50-page plan of how it would take this overall interest and demand in fire.
Dude, there's no hype. It's been years. Shut up. It's dead. Shut up. Also, one thing to point out in the video, it seems like he's reading from a really poorly written script, too. It just seems, his English seems bizarre and fucking weird.
And how it would take my ability to bring people from around the world together to make the impossible happen, but how it would find the best partners in the world to allow me to be me while executing Fire's vision to the highest level.
Billy then goes on to say that his first year, he worked with the biggest and best TV companies in the world to create a documentary called After the Fire.
In my first year, I partnered with one of the biggest and best TV companies in the world to produce a documentary called After the Fire.
Not Netflix's Fire or Hulu's Fire Fraud, a new one. It's his journey on how he's going to pay back the $26 million he stole from people. And it's all thanks to Ample Entertainment. You want to see some of the stuff that Ample Entertainment's made, guys? How about Morimoto's Sushi Master? Not interested? How about The Queen of Versailles? Not interested in that either? How about 9 Months with Courtney Cox? She's nice. She's nice. And old Billy wants to ride off the success of Netflix and Hulu to make some money, I think. And he also signed off on a fucking Fire Festival Broadway musical.
I've also worked with one of the biggest production companies to sign a deal to produce Fire Festival, the Broadway musical.
This is the most California Hollywood shit I have ever heard in my entire life. Signing off on a Broadway musical that is about your own scam tragedy? What the fuck? What are you doing? This guy's insane. He really is a con artist. I feel like I'm related to him though. He feels familial. He feels like such a funny, weird guy. And right after the announcement of the epic and most likely incredibly successful Broadway musical, he drops this bomb.
And finally, today we are announcing Fire Festival 2.
He announces Fire Festival Part 2, dude. What the fuck? Oh my God. There wasn't even a Fire Festival 1. It was just a massive tragedy. He's talked to everyone to get another chance. Every single person willing to give him a scrap of $1. He's pulled them all together and he's got it. Back to the Caribbean.
We spoke to people as far away as the Middle East and South America, and ultimately we decided that Fire Festival 2 is coming back to the Caribbean.
He plans on doing this again at the end of next year in 2024. I cannot believe that this is real. This is unbelievable. I don't think the government is going to let him do this. But then again, maybe the Bahamians are very, very, very desperate and in need of money. I don't know. The craziest part about all this is it's probably going to be incredibly successful. I feel like this has the potential to be very successful and a funny meme to partake in, because people are going to expect it's just going to be a scam. They're just going to expect it. And there's going to be a lot of YouTubers that are going to go. It's going to be wild. And this dude, these con artists have come back. I mean, the Wolf of Wall Street, what the fuck's that guy's name? I forget his name. Leonardo DiCaprio, Jordan Belfort. I mean, he was a scammer and he came back. He's cool. He made money. You can come back. They already sold out of their first 100 tickets, and there's a ticket for $8 grand. That'll be cool, I'm sure, but a lot of people are gonna buy that. So this dude, Billy, thinks that this is possible, and he also says his partners won't let him be involved because he's legally not. He's not allowed to do that, but he will be cooking cheese sandwiches. That's right, he made a cheese sandwich joke.
Our partners are not going to let me do much at the festival. However, I am going to be cooking cheese sandwiches with Andy at the actual event. So I think that's as far as they'll let me go, but that is definitely happening.
He seems like a nice guy. Yeah, they're not gonna let me cook cheese sandwiches at the event. I've got Coke Jaw. They've also got dope merch. I'm thinking about buying it. This looks so fucking bad, dude. It's so bad. I think the next one should be called Dumpster Fire, guys. That'd be funny if it was called Dumpster Fire. Yeah, that would be really awesome. Look how expensive this hat is. $40, $60 for a t-shirt, $200 for a hoodie. Are you fucking dumb? Plus $25 shipping. Apparently all the money's going to pay off his debts too, guys. He's got to fork over every portion of money he makes. I assume he signed some kind of promissory note to make his sentence shorter, to repay his scam. Dude owes 26 million. I feel like this is gonna be awesome though. I'm really, really, really excited. It was an announcement in a bathrobe from a guy who scammed a bunch of people, and you know, everything went horrible. I cannot expect this to go worse than the first one. My guess genuinely is that this goes well. I think that this will go well. I think this will be a thing that has a lot of hype and will, weirdly enough, somehow turn out to be a cool, funny thing, but I don't fucking have any idea. I hope it doesn't. I hope it burns in a fire.